I am going to the Renne Rapp concert tonight in Portland, and I am so excited. So of course I knew I was gonna film my makeup because I know I want to do like a cool grungy smoky look, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to do like a full get ready with me for the concert, kind of going throughout my day a little bit and also showing like my hair, outfit, all that stuff. Speaking of hair, I did shave my hair, which we will talk about later in the video. So it's about 11 in the morning right now. I just finished up a leg day with my boyfriend at the gym. We always do legs on Monday and it's just like the perfect start to the week. So we had a really good leg day workout. I just tanned last night because I want to be tan for the concert, and I'm also going to LA in 2 days for a YouTube shopping event that I'm very excited for, but I need press-on nails, so I wanted to go to Ulta. That was a successful and reasonable little Ulta haul for not being in stores for such a long time. There were so many brands I was like, whoa, what is this brand? I've never seen this before. I got to smell a lot of perfumes that I wanted to check out. They had the new Fenty Body line in there, and I was kind of excited for it, but I wasn't really a fan of that vanilla. They had a mist as well, and I was like, normally, you guys know I'm a sucker for vanilla, but not a big fan of that one, so I'm gonna pass on that. They did have a cute little nail collab with Impress and Wicked, and I like Impress's nails if I don't want to do a glue-on kind. These ones are just like you peel off the little sticky tab and just like press them on really hard. They don't last super long, but I might do these tonight because I don't have a lot of time, but I thought these were super cute. They're kind of green, have like a shifty color to them, and then some have cute little stars. And then I went to this OPI nail section, and I was just like blown away by these OPI press-on nails. The way it was laid out was by color, so it was just like really easy to shop by kind of what color style you like. I've never tried these before, but I ended up buying 2. I wanted to buy like 4, but I was like, wait, I've never even tried these nails before. Let me just get 2 to make sure I like it. But I got 2 different shapes. I love a chrome nail. I saw these and I was instantly like, yes. I just think the reflectiveness is so cool. They were like 15 bucks though, a little pricey for these. I think these are more of like a medium like square shape, and then these ones look like a medium oval shape. These are so pretty. It looks like a coffee gradient to me, where it's like super white at the base and goes to like a really pretty brown. I don't know, I love a good neutral nail. And then I saw Ulta had a coupon that was like $10 off 50, so I was checking out and my total was like right below 50, and I was checking out this body wash and I was like, okay, let me just grab the body wash so then I can use that coupon and get $10 off my purchase, making this body wash pretty much free. Girl math. So it's just the Tree Hut Vanilla Foaming Gel Wash. I don't really love that Snoopy's on it, but I do really like Tree Hut's vanilla. I wanted to smell this. They didn't have a tester. This was a little impulsive, but I love a good body wash, you know? Oh yeah, that'll be nice. I like their shave oil a lot, which is why I was kind of okay with blind buying this vanilla. This is very sweet. That'll be good. Okay, cool. Okay, I just got home. I'm about to shower and kind of start getting ready and everything, but I wanted to show you my gym outfit really quick because everything is from IUGA, who is kindly sponsoring this part of the video. So first I have on this little quarter zip pullover here. It is so soft. I'm wearing this one in a size extra large just because I like my outer layers to be a little bit baggier on me, but what I love about this is that it cinches at the waist, because when I first put this on, I was like, oh, it looks a little frumpy, and then I was rereading the description of the item and it said cinched waist, and I said, oh my gosh, this is perfect because that's exactly what this needed. Like, it just gives it a little bit more shape. You can kind of make it more cropped if you want, but I also really like this brown color too, and I also want to wear it as like a layering piece and put like a sweatshirt underneath it with a big hood and put this on top. It'd be so cozy. And then the sports bra I wore today is the padded Strappy Y-back sports bra, and I'm wearing a size medium, but I gotta say I really love the sports bra. It's gonna become a staple for me because it's just such a good and basic fit, and I really do like a strappy look on me because I like how it makes my shoulders look. I do still have the pads in this sports bra. I might remove them at some point, but I kind of like how it looks, and I feel like I have a good amount of coverage here as well. Like when I was doing my kind of yoga warm-up routine in my workout, I felt like I was protected, nothing was gonna fall out or anything. And then here is what the back looks like on this one. Because it has that strappy back, this would be so cute for back day as well. But we have to talk about their leggings, and I have 2 styles to show you. So first are the ones that I wore today. These are the PowerTight no front seam leggings, and I'm wearing a size medium. First of all, these leggings are so soft. I was so impressed when I first put them on, and I made my boyfriend feel them. I was like, feel these new leggings. And I really love that there's no front seam right here because it is not fun to get camel toe in the gym. Honestly, it happens all the time, but the less seams, the better. And they do have pockets, which is really nice, and my whole phone does fit right inside the pocket there. So then for the back of these leggings, these ones do not have a butt scrunch, which is gonna look I guess, a bit more like modest in the gym, if you want to say. Like, I am someone that loves a butt scrunch, which I will show you in the second pair. So there's no scrunch back here, but with a little bit of detailing, it does give a cute little shape above your butt. So then this is the second pair of leggings that I got from them. These are the Butterlab no front seam, high-waisted scrunch butt, buttery soft leggings with pockets. And again, I got these in a size medium. So this is their Butterlab fabric, which is even softer than the other fabric. Like, the original one is great, but like this is even softer. It's kind of crazy. So again, this legging has no seam in the front, which is good. And then on the back, there is a little bit of a scrunch butt that is just going to accentuate your glutes and your cheeks a little bit more. And I think that look is cute. If you want to check out anything from IUGA, I'm going to link the 4 pieces that I tried down below. And you can also use my code 25ANGELA to save 25% off on their website. Thank you to IUGA for sponsoring this part of the video. And now let's keep going throughout the day. Hi, hello. I have not sat down in front of the camera and like filmed and done my makeup in honestly quite a few weeks, so this feels a little strange to me. And also it's weird sitting here with a shaved head for the first time in like this whole setup, but here we are. Give it a second. I know it takes some getting used to, and honestly I am still getting used to it as well, but my plan right now is just to get ready and do my makeup for the concert. I'll probably be pretty chatty. I'll talk a little bit about the products that I'm using, but I'm a little behind schedule right now because my younger brother needed help with his car battery, and so I helped him with that, and I was like, shit, I still like need to film my makeup and everything. That was just the clear Rare Beauty brow gel. I'm kind of back to this brow routine where I start with the clear brow gel just to give my brows like something kind of sticky, make them kind of thicker, and then go in with the brow pencil when I need it. So I'm using the Anastasia Brow Wiz in medium brown. It's funny how my brow routine will just change every couple months or so because I'll use a new product or try a different technique, and then I'll just kind of stick with that for a while, and then I'll switch it up again later on. And my brows really don't need much filling in just because I have like old microblading and I naturally have a lot of brow hairs as well, so I don't need to do too much. Okay, so there's the brow before and after, which is the brow pencil. Since this is concert makeup, I want it to be long wearing, I want it to last, I want it to be pretty full coverage on the base as well. So for primer, I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This is the one with 4% niacinamide, and I'm actually really close to finishing this one. I've had it for quite a long time and I would love to finish this up kind of soon. But this is a really good sticky primer, so this really does help make your makeup last. I'm gonna add a little more to my forehead here, since my forehead is very exposed. And like, you can see that stickiness, right? That's what we want. For foundation, I'm going in with my favorite. I'm just gonna call it my #1 favorite because that's what it is at this point. It's the Fenty Beauty Soft Lit. I'm using the shade at 185 because I did self-tan last night. And I'm gonna apply that with my go-to foundation brush, which is the BK Beauty at 115. Okay, let's talk about the shaved hair. So I shaved it off about a week ago now. I think it's been maybe 8 or 9 days if you want to be exact, but at the point that I'm filming this video, it's been a little over a week. I have talked about wanting to do this for a while. I have thought about doing this, honestly, for years now. I've always wanted to shave my head. And like, I think it's so fucking cool that I did. I have always just wanted to try super short hair, and honestly, it is still a bit of an adjustment for me. Even when I first did it, of course I filmed it, I just haven't posted that video yet. I am so behind on editing and posting content right now. Like, I have content that I have filmed from like July that I still haven't posted yet because I don't know, I'm just kind of struggling with that. So of course I film myself shaving all my hair off and just kind of that moment and everything because like that's kind of a big deal, and I did it myself at home. But I did end up going to my hairstylist Jules just for them to touch it up, but then I did just shave it again this morning because this grows back so freaking fast. Oh my gosh. I know that when some people shave their hair, like they'll shave it off or do a buzz cut or whatever, and then they'll just kind of grow it back right away. And honestly, I'm gonna keep the buzz cut look for a little bit. I know it is a very bold look, and I'm gonna keep it for a bit. Like, it's still very new to me, and I don't want it to grow out so fast because it really would grow out so fast. What was so funny to me about shaving my hair is that like the sides and the back of my head is still exactly what it used to be when I had my floof up top, because that's what I would still do. So the only difference for me is really just the top part of my hair. I'm just used to having something right here. I'm not used to seeing just like the roundness of my head. But I gotta say, say I really do love the feeling of a buzz cut because I love not having to do anything with my hair. And that's most of the reason why I cut all my hair off short in the first place, was because I was just so sick of dealing with long hair and just dealing with styling my hair in general. I also want to play around with some hair color. Of course, you know, like I want to try that platinum blonde look. It might not last long, but I have to just try it because like that's another bold look and I just think it is so cool. I have always been the kind of person that plays around with their hair. My hair has changed a million times since high school. Like when it was long, I played with so many colors. When it was shorter, I played with different colors. And now it's the shortest it can be and I'm still gonna play with fun colors. Like, it's just fun to me. Now I'm putting on my NARS Soft Matte Concealer in Custard. And this is a brush from the BK Beauty and Nikki LaRose set. It's the new set. It did sell out when it first launched, but I believe it's gonna be restocked pretty soon. And I gotta say, I've been loving a lot of the brushes from the set. I'll use quite a few today, but this is one of the brushes. It's kind of like I use it like a pinpoint concealer kind of brush. Okay, but like I said, I'm still kind of adjusting to the buzz cut. Like this feels like a big change for me, even though I still had such short hair to begin with. It's really just this, it's just so round. To be real with you, like I said, I cut it over a week ago, but I still haven't really gone out in public yet with my buzz cut because I was kind of having a hard time adjusting and just feeling 100% confident that way. So I do wear hats a lot, and that's something, like, I've been wearing hats for years now. I love how I look in a hat. I also like wearing beanies a lot too. So like this last week I was wearing lots of hats and beanies and I was out just like doing errands and stuff. But tonight at the concert, I think it's gonna be like my first night of like really rocking the buzz cut. And honestly, I think a Renne Rapp concert is the perfect place to rock a buzz cut because like it's, you know, girls, gays, and theys at the concert. It's gonna be so much fun. But really only the people close to me have seen my buzz cut, like my boyfriend, my best friend who lives across the country, my sister. I don't think my mom has seen it yet, because she's in Hawaii right now. Spraying a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury before I blend out my NARS. And I'm gonna be doing a lot of layers again because I want my makeup to last. I wanted to wait to post about shaving my hair off because I kind of wanted to form like my own opinion about my hair before I share it with, you know, hundreds of thousands of people out there on the internet. And as a woman who has had short hair for the last 3 years, I know that people have their opinions on women with short hair. I don't know what it is, but for some reason people get very upset about a woman with short hair. They say it's too masculine. They get confused if I'm a man or a woman, and it's like, I'm just a woman with short hair. It's pretty simple. But I wanted to feel good about it myself before I post about it because I know I'm gonna get those comments. Like there's always gonna be mean trolls on the internet. And that's just a part of life. Honestly, that's a part of this job. So I wanted to feel good about it before I shared it with the internet. So when those comments come, I can be like, nope, I feel good about it. I don't care about your opinion, kind of thing. And I've also been trying to get a little bit better at that with my content, where I'm still filming content and creating and, you know, making videos and having these ideas and stuff, but I'm not posting that content right away. I kind of wait a little bit. So I kind of let myself like live life a little bit and then I get to share it. And that works really nicely for my mental health. And so like, you know, with my boyfriend and everything, I haven't really talked a lot about him because I wanted to just live this part of my life, and it's really exciting and it's really happy and fun and full of love right now. And I just want to be able to like live my life a little bit without having to share everything, and especially immediately as it happens. Okay, so I'm actually going to start with eyes before I do my blush because I don't really know what color my eyes are going to turn out to be, because let me show you what I'm thinking. I got the new Patrick Ta eye duos in PR. I am so freaking stoked about this, and I saw this kind of like cool toned slate gray one, and I thought this shade it would be so cool for an eye look for Renne, like kind of grungy looking almost. And so I want to go off of this, but I don't want to go silver. I want to stay cool toned. And then I've been loving the Natasha Denona eye sculpt palette, specifically the soft one, not the dramatic one, this one. And this has some nice cool tone shades, so I was probably going to use these. but that's like only 2 shades. So I also grabbed Icy Nude because this has some really nice matte shades that I like to use when I don't want my looks to be too warm. So I already primed my eyes with the Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer, and I set that with the translucent powder. I am going to use my Sigma eye brush set for my brushes today. We do have a very limited number of sets left, and once they are gone, they are gone. So if you want to get this, it would be a great time to do it now. But I'm going to go into that Natasha palette and take the shade C2 on my fluffy blending brush. And I'm going to blend this shade throughout my entire crease. Like, I want to do a slightly dramatic look today, but nothing too crazy. I don't know. I've really been liking going a lot softer with my eyes, even for my everyday looks. I've even noticed this last week of having short hair that I was kind of just getting ready and doing my makeup more because it just made me feel just a little cuter and put together. And, you know, having something I like on my face helps me adjust to my hair. I've just been loving a softer eye look. I also have not been wearing any fake lashes. Like, I have some to try, but I just kind of prefer just mascara right now. I have been using a lash growing serum a lot recently. It's the Ordinary one, and I think it works really well. I'm building up this shade in my crease. But the Ordinary one is so cheap, and it does not irritate my lash line because I've used the Grande lash one, and that one did irritate my lash line. And I do not have that issue at all with the Ordinary, and it's cheaper. Highly recommend. I'm gonna do both eyes at the same time here, which I normally don't do because I'll film one eye for a YouTube video, one eye for a short form video. I'm just kind of all over the place. But I do not have the time to film multiple videos right now. I know that I have not done a video about these Natasha Denona palettes yet. Oh, I've posted a short form video with the warm one, and then I have one filmed with this palette, but I just haven't really like talked about them much. But I definitely prefer the shades in the softer one just because the shades are softer overall. And like I literally just said, I like softer eye looks. So yeah, I'm gonna like the softer palette. And I think the other one's a little bit too warm for me as well. But I think if you have a deeper complexion, the dramatic one would be perfect for you. But one thing that does bug me between the two palettes is that there's nothing really differentiating the two palettes on the cover. Like the color is exactly the same. So I'll grab one thinking it's the other, and then I get annoyed. So I wish that the color was even just slightly different on the packaging, but that's just me being really picky. Same brush, I'm going to take R1 and I'm going to use that around the edges of that brown shade. And that kind of made this look a little bit more gray, like just that before and after there. Because I am blending this shade right on top of the brown and around the edges. Normally I just do around the edges, but I kind of like how that made this soften and a bit more gray. Then I'm just going to go back in with C2 and just kind of touch it up a little bit. And then I'm going to go one over here to Y2, and I'm just going to add that in the crease as well. And this is a brown shade that has a yellow undertone to it, which is fine with me because that's going to be a little bit more neutral. It's not going to be warm and orange because that's definitely what I don't want for this look. I want it a little bit more on the cool tone side, but more like neutral cool is what I'm hoping for. So with this Patrick Ta shade, let me swatch this out really quick. The duo is called Always On Your Mind, if I didn't say that yet, but I like, actually, let me swatch both shades. Might as well since we're here, right? There we go, top shade, bottom shade. So I want to use the bottom shade, but because it is a little bit more sheer, I need to put some shade on my lid as kind of a base. I cannot just put it on top of this. So I'm going to go into the Huda Beauty Icy Nude palette and take the shade Poised on my crease brush. And I just have that on the flat side of my crease brush, and I'm just going to dust some of that on my lid. Doesn't need to be like perfect, but I definitely need to have a little bit of color laid down here. Okay, I actually really like how that looks. That was a good choice. But I decided I do want it to look perfect, so I am doing a couple layers of it and like blending it out and making it look nice on my lid. All right, so here is what I have so far, just mostly matte shades, just blended out. So I'm gonna grab this shade on my finger. I am so excited for this. And I think I'm gonna go all over the eyelid. Oh yeah. Yes! Oh my gosh. That's just what I wanted. Oh, I love this. I love this. I love this. So sparkly and beautiful. I'm going to take my fluffy blending brush and just soften around the edges. I did also get the 6-pan small matte palette that PowerTight came out with. I'm very excited to use that. I just haven't gotten the chance to use it yet, but honestly, I think I'm gonna be obsessed with it because you guys know how much I love the Major Dimensions 3 all matte palette. I have used that one so much. It's like one of my like daily staples. I love these tones so far. It's kind of like grayish purple almost, but not so gray. I'm almost wondering if I want to do a second layer of that and put it over like my NYX glitter primer to really give it something to stick to, because nothing's sticky on my eyes yet because I did matte shadows, you know what I mean? I think I'm gonna do that. I want this to last. Honestly, I should have just done this the first time. I thought about it for a split second. I was like, nah, I don't need that, but no, I think this is a good idea. NYX glitter primer, round 2. So if you are recreating this at home, you definitely don't need to do 2 layers of the glitter shadow. And then I'll go in with the PowerTight shadow again on that finger. Let's give this something to stick to. It might kind of change the effect a little bit though. That's not really what I wanted. I don't have a lot of time. Okay, but wow, that definitely changed the effect of the shadow, huh? I'm gonna go back to my brush and blend. And then the rule is, even if I don't love what I did on the first eye, you still gotta do it on the second one, because more than anything, I want my eyes to look even. Even if they look not that great, I want them to look the same. I also think I did a little too much of the NYX primer on that eye. You can see I'm doing a little less on this eye. I think that's better. I honestly feel a little unpracticed right now. Like I said, it's been a minute since I've filmed and talked and done my makeup, and especially done a, you know, more dramatic look like this too. But I'm loving this color, especially against my blue eyes. I think that is so fun and pretty. Almost kind of giving like New Year's vibes a little bit, you know, but I'm trying to go for like a grungy vibe. So I'll probably do some like black smudgy liner. Didn't I say earlier I want to do a soft eye look? Like I want to do a slightly dramatic look today, but nothing too crazy. How's your soft eye look going, Angela? I'm picking up more of the PowerTight shadow on my fluffy brush and just kind of running that in my crease. Like this can be kind of a messy look. Again, grungy is okay. Okay, we've gone from a soft eye look to now a grungy eye look. That's okay. Because I have a lot of glitter shadow on, I do want to do a nice black liner across my top lash line. So I'm going to take a gel, starting with that, going into that PowerTight palette I just mentioned, the Major Dimension 3. It has this black cream gel shadow, so I'm going to take that on one of the Nikki LaRose brushes here. I'm just going to stamp that across my entire top lash line. I don't know why I grabbed that Nikki LaRose brush. I'm grabbing my tiny small detail brush. This is actually better. And I'm making sure to get all the way into my inner corner. I've really been liking that look a lot. Okay, so that is just the black gel on both eyes. Then in that palette, there's a matte black shadow, so I'm just gonna stamp that right on top. And I'm kind of making this a pretty thick line. Not really on purpose, it's just kind of what it's turning out to be. So the matte black shadow on top of the cream is really just gonna lock the liner in place. And I like putting the shadow on top because it gives it a slightly smokier look versus being really harsh with just the gel. Now I'm taking my small blending brush with more of that shade Poised from the Huda Beauty palette, and I'm gonna use that to kind of soften out the black liner just to make it even more smudgy looking. So I'm kind of blending along the top part of the black liner. Like I said, it's a thick line, so I'm blending along that top part of the line. This is not what I thought my eye look was gonna be today, but at this point, I need to just keep going with it. I'm gonna do my top mascara just to kind of see what this is gonna look like. I don't even know if I'm gonna do false lashes at this point, but I've been doing a little mascara combo that's been working really nicely for me. I've been layering the Lancome Lash Idol Flutter Extension Mascara. I like this one a lot because it has a nice small wand, so I can grab every single lash, especially like right at the root, and get that nice and dark and coated. Okay, that's the Lancome mascara. And then I go on top with the Maybelline Sky High. Now this, like the name, honestly, true. Like this really does add so much length to my lashes, so that's why I add this as just like a little second top coat kinda. Ugh. The problem with Sky High is that it can get clumpy if you do too much. And I might, okay, stop going in. I'm more just trying to see if I'm gonna need a fake lash, and I think I might. Okay, mascara is on. I probably will add a lash just because I can't really see my lashes. You know, my lash line is so dark. But now I'm gonna kind of clean up this under eye area. I have quite a bit of sparkle fallout, but like I said, because I didn't really do my base makeup yet, I can easily clean this up with a makeup wipe. So I'm just gonna kind of clean up my under eye here, and then I can even clean up this edge of my shadow and just make this like nice and lifted is what I want. So I'm kind of just following the angle of my lower lash line going outwards like that. And then I'll just take my finger and kind of soften around this eyeshadow line right here so it's not so harsh. But now that I know the color of my shadow, I can do my blush and everything. I'm gonna go into my Catrice under eye brightener since I just took away all the product that was down here. I mean, all I had down here was foundation, but you know. And this is my AB1 base brush from my Sigma brush set. For a blush, I'm gonna start with this Huda Beauty blush filter in Strawberry Cream. And blending that out with my BK Beauty 116. And I'm kind of placing the blush all along my cheek area because I will do my concealer, which will kind of help clean it up. But I love this shade. This is one of my most used for sure. I'm gonna apply my Mario cream bronzer stick in light on my forehead here. I do know that we're gonna check out the merch stands, and I think they have a hat that I'm gonna get. It says Mad across the top because that's one of her songs. And like I said earlier, I love a hat. I wear a hat all the time. I wear a hat to the gym every single day. I love a hat. So even though I am showing up in my buzz cut, I will probably end up in a hat at some point. Whoops. I'm gonna do NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Creme Brulee under my eye. Two eyes. Blending that out with my Sigma brush. And then after I blend that out, I always like to go back to my blush brush that I was just using. There's no product on this, but I'm just gonna soften where my blush and concealer meet. Now I'm gonna do under eye powder, and I'm gonna quickly rave about this brush really quick because I don't have a lot of time. Again, it's from that BK Beauty Nikki LaRose brush set that should be back in stock very soon. But it is this brush that is shaped like a little triangle, and it's supposed to mimic one of these powder puffs, which has been so popular for so long for doing under eye. But instead of like having to squish it and hold it, you just have it in a brush like this, and this has been fantastic for under eye powder. I've really been loving it, honestly. I'm taking my Huda Beauty powder, by the way, so I'm like really working that powder into the brush. I'll tap out any creases that might be under my eye, straight in with that powder. And this brush just fits perfectly right here, and it still gives you that same blurred effect that you get with the velour puff. But what's nice about this is that I find that this is so much easier to wash than the velour puffs. Honestly, I just threw my puffs in the washing machine the other day, and that worked pretty damn well. But I also just love like the feeling of a brush. Like I love a good brush, you know? So this has been really nice. I'm setting my makeup with my Huda Beauty powder because I want this makeup to last all night, and the Huda Beauty powder will set anything forever. Also gonna set my entire forehead with this. You can see I'm just doing a pressing motion with this powder, and this just really presses it into the skin. Gonna give you that nice blurred look. And it's the Huda Beauty powder, which is like, it's just the best powder. It's the best loose powder, hands down. I'm just gonna lightly dust a little more Huda on my cheeks. Like I want my whole face with this powder. Let's go back to the eyes. I'm gonna take my Makeup Forever eyeliner in the shade Endless Cacao and line my lash line with this. So not the waterline, because I like to keep that waterline blank so it makes my eye look a little bit more open. And then taking my small detail brush and just kind of smudging that out. I actually might keep the lower lash line really soft just because I know if I add more to it, I'm just gonna go overboard, and I really don't want to add that much more shadow because this is already more than I really wanted. Let me just like pull this together, you know? Then I'm grabbing that C2 shade from the Natasha Denona palette and just running that right on top of that liner. So for the top lash line and the lower lash line, I started with some kind of cream liner because that's going to help give something your powders to stick to, which is just going to make the makeup last longer and just look more intense all night, which is what we want. I'm going to grab my Essence Nude Liner, run that in my waterline, even though this really isn't going to last that long if we're being honest with ourselves. I'm grabbing a clean crease brush and I'm just kind of softening this edge of the shadow just because it's looking a little too harsh. And sometimes if you just blend with a clean brush, it'll help. I need to even out the lash lines. This is not going to work for me. Uh-oh. I needed to even out the depth. My top lash line was way too dark compared to my bottom lash line. So I just kind of grabbed this brush that had leftover black on it and I'm just adding it to my lower lash line. Cue back to me saying I'm doing a soft eyeshadow look today. Nothing too crazy. I'm gonna blend that with that C2 shade on my small blending brush. But I'm still trying to keep the waterline open. Okay, yeah, at this point I'm gonna need a half lash because I'm adding a lot of darkness to my eyes. I'm gonna go do that. Guys, I am so sorry. I'm wearing the Bright Lashes Flare right now. I'm having a hard time finding lashes that I like as much as the Bright Lashes. I don't know, it's like especially for going out. It's like I want to wear lashes that I know and I trust and I know I like. Anyways, for blush, I'm finishing up here. I'm using the Too Faced Cloud Crush Blush in Velvet Crush, kind of just like a good basic neutral pink color. Definitely need some blush back in my face here. And I always bring the blush back towards my ear. I'm gonna grab a little bit of this shade at Candy Clouds. It's like one of those brighter pink shades on a smaller brush. I'm kind of hitting this higher point of my cheekbone with this blush. For highlighter, I'm using my NARS Eros. Makeup by Mario Lip Liner in Smoky Pink. I like to blend it out with my finger. And then I've just been loving the Huda Faux Filter Gloss Oils just like on their own with a little bit of lip liner. I love it. I might do a couple of adjustments off camera, but honestly, I need to stop filming because I'm running out of time. But here is how the makeup look turned out. I think it is so pretty. Again, the eyes are definitely more intense than I thought they were gonna be today, but it happens. It's a concert. It's fine. Wow, I almost just did a terrible job at finishing up this entire video, but here is the makeup look all completely done. I didn't really do too many touch-ups. I just kind of like touched up the liner a little bit, but let me show you my outfit. Nothing too fancy. Don't be blown away. Don't expect too much here. So when I go out, my #1 goal is always comfort. So I just have on this like black t-shirt. It's like kind of form-fitting, but it's very comfy. I have on these black trousers. They're from Abercrombie. And then this oversized faux leather vegan jacket. This is also from Abercrombie from like 2 years ago, but I love how it's like comfy and oversized it is. I always go all black when I go out, honestly. And then I just have on my white Air Forces. And then like I said, I'll probably get a hat at the merch table. And then I'll be rocking a hat and I'll be happy. But I'm about to head out, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video and thank you so much for watching.